Karibuni to the Now Report on TV47. My name is Furaha, and as always, I am excited to be here and I'm ready to give you all the updates that I feel you need to know. Si tuanze kazi? Safi sana. Now, an independent policing oversight authority, IPOA, inquest has revealed that investigators could not establish the identity of the police officer who shot and killed Rex Masai during the anti-finance bill protests in June 2024. IPOA principal investigator Justin Nyatete testified that due to critical missing links, including a lack of an eyewitness, unrecovered bullet fragments, spent cartridges, the firearm, and blurry CCTV footage, criminal charges could not be sustained. Nyatete cited a stark lack of cooperation from the National Police Service and an altered crime scene as major roadblocks that severely hampered the probe. Despite interviewing 26 witnesses, including 9 police officers, the state was forced to recommend a public inquest over a direct criminal prosecution, with Nyatete bluntly admitting to the court that as we speak, I cannot tell who killed Rex Masai. And this was quite a sad period of time. There's a lot of deaths, and I genuinely feel that something has to be done. A life was lost and people are really looking for justice. And the question that I will probably leave you at right now is, if IPOA itself cannot get cooperation from the police, then what does that say about the accountability of our police services? Anyways, the Bungoma County Assembly is about to table its 2026-2027 budget estimate today. And to say the math is looking a bit tragic will be an understatement. Word on the street is that a staggering 70% of the total funds have already been swallowed up just to cover county workers' salary and pay off all debts. Basically, before the budget even hits the table, Bungoma's wallet is already running on fumes. Activists from the civil society group Redo Kenya, led by Ezekiel Odeo, called a press conference in Bungoma town to sound a loud, frustrated alarm. Odeo didn't hold back, pointing out that local development projects have essentially been left out in the cold. And to make matters worse, the critical health department has been slapped with a mere allocation yet again, which is a polite way of saying Bungoma residents might want to avoid getting sick for the next fiscal year. Health activist Felgona Kombo jumped into the ring too, warning that underfunding local hospitals is a direct gamble with citizens' lives. Together with Redo Kenya, she is demanding that MCAs radically tear up the blueprint and restructure the numbers to prioritize long-term development and the basic well-being of the people. The message to the ward reps is clear: stop treating the budget like a rubber stamping exercise and actually put some money where it matters.
County ya Bungoma iko na around 16.78 billions, na utapata kwamba zaidi ya asilimia 70 inaenda kwa ile tunaita recurrent. Emolument ama kulipa mishahara peke yake imekula zaidi ya bilioni 7, na mambo ya maendeleo ni chini ya bilioni 5. So utaona kwamba kufadhili maendeleo inaenda kuwa changamoto katika kaunti ya Bungoma. Hiyo tunaweza faulu tu iwapo kaunti itaweka bidii katika kuhakikisha kwamba ushuru ambao unatozwa watu wa Bungoma, on source revenue, inaangaziwa na kwenda juu. Tukichangisha nyingi, basi tutaweza kufadhili maendeleo, lakini tukitegemea tu serikali kuu, itamaanisha kwamba watu wa Bungoma kwa hizo bilioni 5 hawataweza kupata maendeleo ambayo wanahitaji.
I don't think there is anything that needs to be said in terms of health. It's quite an important part of everyone's health, and hopefully this budget, the funds get a bit more, unajua zipandishwe tu juu kidogo, guys. Watu ni wagonjwa, acha wapone. But that's just me. Anyways, ICT Principal Secretary Engineer John Tanui launched a new Jitume hub at the Manyata TVET in Embu County, aiming to transform local youth into high-earning digital professionals. Tanui highlighted a massive economic gap, noting that while advanced nations draw up to 40% of their GDP kutoka kwa digital economy, Kenya bado ina catch up. To bridge this, the state inawekelea a digital superhighway blueprint to arm TVET students with market-driven high-income tech skills, improving Kenya's digital muscle. The PS pointed out that the country is already hooked up to over 8 submarine internet cables, with connectivity set to skyrocket following President William Ruto's European negotiations to loop Kenya into the upcoming Blue Raman cable project linking Africa, India and Europe. Welcoming the launch, Embu Governor Cecily Mbarire pledged total synergy with the national government, urging local youth to aggressively exploit the high-tech hub to secure global digital jobs.
We are here to advance the agenda of the digital superhighway. Dunia inabadilika, dunia inasonga mbele, kuna mambo mengi inafanyika na nchi yetu haiwezi kuachwa nyuma. Moja ya hizo sehemu ni area ya digital superhighway. Tunataka kuhakikisha nchi yetu iweze kupata nafasi ambayo inaletwa na digital space, na kwa hivyo tunahakikisha connectivity ya nchi yetu naweza songesha mbele. Huko katika Mombasa tunaweka submarine cables kuhakikisha nchi yetu iweze kuconnect na dunia nzima. Tayari tuko na over 8 submarine cables katika Mombasa. Na pia tunaanza kudiscuss, hata juzi rais amekuwa huko EU. Tunadiscuss a new cable inaitwa Blue Raman cable yenye itatupea connectivity ya Africa, India na huko Europe.
I am an avid believer that technology is the future, and especially with Kenya. So seeing such progress is actually quite it's a breath of fresh air, that's the word for it. And hopefully it will come sooner rather than later. And I'm glad that steps are being taken. And again, I think we've had previous bulletins before where we've talked about how Kenya is really, really growing digitally. And this is always a good sign to me. Now, Siaya County urged the Kenya Devolution Support Program to release 300 million shillings to complete its ultra-modern 1.7 billion shilling hospital complex before the contractors down tools. Health Projects Coordinator George Nyamwaji warned they have just 6 months to finish the 500-bed facility, which splits into a 250-bed national government inpatient wing and a 250-bed county-led mother-baby complex. Dependent on the missing funds, the facility will also feature on an emergency center to eliminate desperate cross-country medical trips, highlighting a drastic drop in maternal mortality. Chief Nursing Officer Godfrey Otieno dismissed local critics, declaring that reality, not outdated rumors, should drive public perception as the county awaits the critical cash injection.
In as much as we have an existing hospital in the name of Siaya County Referral Hospital, and our desire is to have a level 5 hospital, it basically means that there's those specialist services that we have been seeking for outside of our county, they should now be available at this hospital, and that is a plus for our population. With those services available, we are very sure that even the neighboring counties will be utilizing our specialist services. As a department, we've made strides. And the latest report that I can remember, even mortality rates that we used to rank so bad nationally, if you look at the current reports from the Ministry of Health, we've come down to as low as less than 100 maternal deaths per 100,000. We've come very low, and we are among the best performing counties. So notions should not drive our thoughts each and every time. Realities should.
I genuinely believe that anything health related is urgent. So this is something that needs to be taken care of. And honestly, guys, just think about this. If the time runs out, the contract goes, contract year uishe, now you have to get them again, probably pay them more. Unajua, when you renew someone's contract, lazima pesa ipande kidogo. So it just drop that kakitu, man. It will really help. And of course, it will help a lot of mothers, a lot of people out there. So think about it. Now, a coalition of Christian religious leaders from Peketoni, Lamu County, has officially raised the alarm on national and local security. Basically, want to warn everyone that the current vibe is getting way too chaotic. According to the clergy, the twin evils of political extremism and straight-up hooliganism at political rallies are turning peaceful gatherings into security headaches. To make matters worse, they pointed out the ongoing confusing flip-flop over whether night travel is actually allowed on the Garsen-Witu-Mokoe highway. A local drama they say desperately needs a final decisive ruling from the security bosses before anyone books a midnight bus. The preachers also touched on school safety, noting that the recent wave of student strikes across the country has left everyone anxious about what the kids are up to. With the highly anticipated 2027 general election slowly creeping up on the horizon, the men of the cloth are urging the government to dust off its security playbook and tighten things up before the political campaign trail officially turns into a circus.
Tunajua kufunguliwa kwa barabara hii inaweza kuwa na faida ya kiuchumi, lakini kama security haijapeana go ahead, kama bado kuna madoadoa, inaonekana kuna giza katika upande wa security, ikifunguliwa itakuwa ni hatari kwetu kama wakaazi wa kaunti hii.
Karibu kila mwaka mmoja kunachomeka watoto, na kwa sababu ya jambo hili ni jambo ambalo linatugharimu sisi kama Wakenya, na hata sana wazazi ambao wamewapeleka wanafunzi shuleni kusoma. Jambo hili ni jambo ambalo linafaa kuchukuliwa hatua, hata kama itawezekana kufunga shule za mabweni, ili kwamba mwanafunzi yule apate kusoma, na akishasoma amrudie mzazi wake. Na pamoja na hapo, watoto hawa ama wanafunzi wakirudi manyumbani, wazazi wapatiwe jukumu la kuwalea watoto hawa.
Swala la usalama liachiwe vyombo vya usalama. Manake likiingiliwa na wanaharakati, liingiliwe na wanasiasa, litakosa mwelekeo na watu wataweza kuumia.
So a quick summary, our kids, let's make sure everything is okay with them. That's generally. Election-wise, guys, tujitayarishe. The election is coming, so security needs to be a bit tighter. And of course, the last thing wameongelelea, or one of the things they've spoken about is hii mambo ya political unrest, especially at rallies na nini. Mnasumbuana kwa nini? Take care of yourselves. We love each other. We are one nation. Tupendane, guys. Anyways, in a historic cultural shift, reformed women from the Marakwet community in Elgeyo Marakwet County have publicly broken their silence, completely distancing themselves from the retrogressive practice of female genital mutilation, FGM, and fiercely urging their remaining peers to abandon the life-threatening custom. Speaking out during a high-impact community awareness forum, the women laid bare the severe, lifelong physical and psychological trauma inflicted on young girls, admitting that the outlawed cut has heavily crippled the community's progress. Highlighting the steep hill left to climb, national statistics reveal that approximately 15% of Kenyan communities still stubbornly perpetuate the practice. Compelled by this data, Nyerere Kutwa, the director of programs at the Anti-FGM Board Kenya, he has issued an urgent rallying call to the local leadership and residents to form a unified shield around young girls, demanding a relentless grassroots crackdown to entirely eliminate the cruel custom once and for all.
Serikali kabisa hapa bado wako chini. Kama hujatahiriwa wanasema hebu mtoto songa nje tuongee. Hiyo ni shida moja. Na hii yenye ukioa mwenye hajatahiriwa hautaenda huko juu kwa la kama uko saile wanatahirisha. Hata hii harusi ya kienyeji unatararuliwa sana.
A few years ago, even our officers fell victims of the same. In fact, we lost lives of, I think, one person or one officer from our side when he was out in the field to act upon a case involving FGM. If at all any case will come over, then we shall handle it at the way it will be.
Honestly speaking, this is a matter that has existed for the longest time, and honestly, I genuinely feel more needs to be done about it, because not just the physical but the psychological trauma that it leaves the ladies out here in isn't for anyone to handle. It's not right, it's not fair, and I hope people maybe take this a bit more seriously especially in those communities, guys. Sipoa, sawa. Anyway, that is all for me today. My name is Brian Furaha. Stick around, kawaida kuna TV47 at 1, and of course, Daddy Mato Johnny with the Now Report. As always, he will be here. You take care and have a lovely rest of your day.